So hello everybody, this is Bhante Joe here, and just here at the shrine room of the Toronto Mahavihara, kind of a very beautiful place to be, and heat is nicely set, nicely regulated by the thermostat, and much gratitude to the Sangha for having me here today. Just thought to do a short video for the internet on this Friday the 1st of February. So I thought that could start with a short meditation. So it can start just by leaning forward a bit and looking about 3 feet in front and closing our eyes. And can think thoughts of goodwill. Goodwill here means a wish that all beings find true happiness. And it also comes with a recognition that finding true happiness requires putting the right causes into place. So what we're really wishing for is that all beings learn to put the right causes into place to be truly happy. In this type of meditation, metta meditation, we learn to develop what's called the enlarged or expanded mind. And so we learn to expand our mind infinitely in all the directions, wishing all beings there well. So we can start with the right-hand side. May all beings to my right be happy and at ease. May they put in place the causes necessary to be happy and at ease. And we can make our minds infinite, can make them unbounded, all the way to the ends of the universe and beyond, in every dimension. May all beings to my right be happy and at ease. And we can spread thoughts of goodwill to our right-hand side and our left-hand side. May all beings to my right and my left be happy and at ease. May they put in place the causes necessary to be happy and at ease. And we can make our minds infinite, can make them unbounded, all the way to the ends of the universe and beyond. In every dimension, may all beings to my right and my left be happy and at ease. And we can spread thoughts of goodwill to our right-hand side, our left-hand side, and in front. May all beings to my right, my left, and in front be happy and at ease. May they put in place the causes necessary to be happy and at ease. And we can make our minds infinite, can make them unbounded, all the way to the ends of the universe and beyond. In every dimension, may all beings to my right, my left, and in front be happy and at ease. And we can spread thoughts of goodwill to our right hand side, our left hand side, in front, behind, in all four directions. May all beings in all four directions be happy and at ease. May they put in place the causes necessary to be happy and at ease. And we can make our minds infinite, can make them unbounded, all the way to the ends of the universe and beyond. In every dimension, may all beings in all four directions be happy and at ease. And we can spread thoughts of goodwill to our right hand side, our left hand side, in front, behind, and above. May all beings in all four directions and above be happy and at ease. May they put in place the causes necessary to be happy and at ease. And we can make our minds infinite, can make them unbounded, all the way to the ends of the universe and beyond. In every dimension, may all beings in all four directions and above be happy and at ease. And we can spread thoughts of goodwill to our right hand side, our left hand side, in front, behind, above, below, all around in every direction, everywhere. May all beings all around in every direction, everywhere be happy and at ease. May they put in place the causes necessary to be happy and at ease. And we can make our minds infinite, can make them unbounded, all the way to the ends of the universe and beyond. In every dimension, may all beings all around everywhere be happy and at ease. We can open our eyes and do a short reflection on the Dhamma. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi, Dhammāṃ saranang gacchāmi, Saṅghāṃ saranang gacchāmi. Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Dhammāṃ saranang gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Saṅghāṃ saranang gacchāmi. Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saranang gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Dhammāṃ saranang gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Saṅghāṃ saranang gacchāmi. So I hope that everybody is having a good day wherever you are in the world, or whatever time this may be for people in the world. And so I thought to just do a short Dhamma discussion. I've often liked to do these kind of recorded videos, maybe a little Dhamma discussion. And it was kind of based on a question that somebody asked at the West End Temple last week, maybe a couple Wednesdays ago, not this Wednesday, the one before. And she was asking about kind of kammic obstructions. So kind of there's these things, the Buddha says that there's a kamma that can come up and kind of block our progress on the path of practice. And so her question was like, how do you know if there's a kind of a kammic block for you in your practice or not? And so it's a good question. And one of the things is basically the way the teachers describe is my understanding is more or less, if a person has a desire to practice, then they should just assume that they don't have some kind of permanent kammic blockage. And kind of just to make the assumption that whatever blockage comes up, whatever difficulty comes up in one's practice, that one can overcome it through ingenuity, through trying different approaches, through effort, through these kind of things. And this kind of leads one to have a kind of idea about how to solve these various problems that come up in one's practice. If a person assumes the opposite, like when a problem comes up, this is a kind of a kammic block for me, then it might be some kind of obstacle that's come up for whatever it is, but it's something that can be overcome through will or through effort. But if one assumes that it's a blockage that'll stop one's practice, then one can make that true as well. So in other words, most of the obstacles that people kind of encounter in their practice, or that one might encounter in one's practice, it kind of may be like a kammic block in terms of this is an obstacle coming up, but it's not like a permanent block, something that people can't get past. You kind of get past that through trying different methods. Excuse me. What seems to be like, in the canon at least, the Buddha mentions these kind of three types of people. There's people who, when they hear the Dhamma, no matter whether they hear it or they don't, they're still going to decline. There's people who, whether they hear the Dhamma or they don't, they're going to go up. And there's people who, whether or not if they hear the Dhamma, then they'll progress. If they don't hear it, then they'll decline. And he said that the Dhamma is to be taught to all these types of people for the sake of the middle type, the person who, if they hear the Dhamma, they'll improve. If they don't hear the Dhamma, then they'll decline. And so because of this, because so what he seems to be mentioning when talking about these kind of three types of people is basically that there's some people who, if they hear the Dhamma, it's not going to have any effect on them. Kind of these, people, when they hear it, they're not going to have any interest in it, basically. Kind of just won't have any interest in practicing at all. And the other type of person who advances no matter what, it's kind of like maybe like a stream enter, and maybe somebody who's had a breakthrough to a noble attainment in a previous life, and they're going to go forward no matter what. But if a person isn't a stream enter and has a desire to practice, then one can just assume that one's the middle type of person. In other words, one has a desire to go forward in the Buddha's teachings, and whatever kammic obstacles come up, then there's a solution to those obstacles. It's just a matter of trying to find what the right solution is. So it's kind of an attitude that a person brings to the obstacles that come up in one's practice. And then one of the interesting things in the suttas is the way that Kamma works is that when one starts to do a lot of good deeds, starts to turn one's mind away from unwholesome things, then some of the bad things that would have ripened later with interest, they kind of ripen right away. So this is the kind of maybe the Buddhist explanation for the classical thing where you set out to do something wholesome, set out with a wholesome vow, a wholesome intention, and then a person gets tested. They have that a lot in the Christian tradition, where somebody sets out to do something really noble and they get tested for it. And so in the Buddhist outlook, these kind of tests are these bad kammic debts ripening. They ripen sooner when one starts to do good deeds. And kind of the analogy the Buddha gives is if somebody put some salt into a small cup of water, then that would make the water immediately salty. And if somebody puts salt into the river Ganges, barely any effect is felt at all. And so for the person who has very kind of, does a lot of bad deeds because they're very small-minded, then one small bad deed can ripen in a lot of pain, can ripen in hell for that person. But for a person who does a lot of good, that same deed will ripen right away. Kind of they experience the result of it more quickly, it's immediate, and he says that in that case kind of barely felt. So when we set out to do these good things, it's kind of like, a person who's got a lot of bills, or has some bills stacking up, kind of they're gathering interest. And when one starts to get money, then, time to pay those bills off. So I remember when I was a student, kind of took out a student loan, and as long as I was in school, I didn't have to pay that loan back. But once I wasn't in school, then I remember my first student loan bill came, came right away. And, you have to start kind of working to pay off this kind of this debt. And so in the same way, many of these kammic obstacles that come up for a person in their practice, they can ripen precisely because a person is practicing, precisely because a person is setting out to do good things. All these things that would have ripened later in more pain come up. And so then the solution to handling these things that come up is to use the tools that the Buddha provides to try to overcome them. You use faith, use effort, to use panya, use wisdom, these kind of different things. Use concentration, use mindfulness, use all of his teachings to try to overcome whatever obstacle appears in our path, whatever kammic obstacle comes up. Because this is the kind of purpose of the Buddha's teachings, the reason why the canon is so huge. There's so many different approaches to solving problems. So we learn to use these to overcome these kind of kammic obstacles. And with this attitude, whatever difficulty comes up in my practice, this is something that's possible to overcome. It's possible to overcome if I just keep trying to find different solutions. There is a solution there. It's just, it's a matter of finding it. And so then when one keeps doing this, especially at the outset of one's practice, when these kind of obstacles come up and one isn't seeing much progress in one's practice, then the day comes when this kind of kammic debt gets paid off. Whatever difficulty it was can go away. So long as one doesn't, react to that difficulty in an unskillful way, creating more bad kamma, one pays off one's debt through continuing to do good, through continuing to develop the path of practice, and in spite of whatever difficulties come up. And then once that debt is paid, not only does that get paid off, but some of the good actions that one has been taking in one's practice, they start to ripen. And so this is where one can get this kind of, happiness coming up in one's practice, kind of good things start to ripen, the bad things start to fall away. But that's something that can happen when a person, especially that can be definitely aided by having this attitude. Okay, whatever difficulty comes up, this is a difficulty that's possible to overcome. There's a solution to this, and so long as I keep trying different avenues, okay, Avenue 1 might not work, Avenue 2 might not work, Avenue 3 might be a solution. Whatever kind of small amount of potential one sees, one keeps trying to make that grow. A potential solution keeps trying to make that grow. And the day comes when these kind of obstacles fall away, and one's kammic debts get more and more paid off. And the fruits of one's practice start to ripen in happiness, here and now, kind of a happiness that can be felt in one's daily life as one's going through. One's mind becomes more bright through the practice of Dhamma. So these are a few thoughts on kammic obstacles from the question that was asked last Wednesday. And so I hope that everybody has a great week, wherever you may be, and wishing you all the best till next time.